a mysterious stranger appeared in the small town of Cedar Creek. Dressed in a long dark coat and with a wide-brimmed hat obscuring his face, the stranger stood out amongst the locals. He seemed to have a purpose, but what it was, no one could tell. The stranger was an imposing figure, dressed in a long dark cloak and a wide-brimmed hat. His face was hidden in the shadows of his hat, and he seemed to be carrying a large burden on his back. He stood tall, his posture straight and his gaze steady. His voice was deep and commanding, and he spoke with authority. He seemed to be a man of great power and influence, yet he was humble and unassuming. He had an air of mystery about him that captivated the kid, who was mesmerized by the stranger's presence. In conclusion, the kid's investigation led to the uncovering of 4 key elements. The kid's investigation, gathering evidence, uncovered clues, and the kid's suspicions. All of these elements combined have formed a comprehensive picture of the investigation and have provided a total of words of information. This amount of information has been invaluable in helping the kid come to a conclusion and take the necessary steps to resolve the investigation. The kid had to come up with a plan to solve the mystery. After careful consideration, he decided to explore the area around the town, looking for clues that could help him uncover the truth. He was determined to find out what was going on, no matter the cost. He had to be brave and resourceful to succeed. The kid had a plan to find the truth, but he needed to find the evidence. He decided to search the area around the old house, and soon he stumbled upon a secret entrance. With some effort, he managed to get inside and discovered a hidden room filled with clues. The kid quickly realized he was on the right track, and he was determined to uncover the mystery. The kid had finally uncovered the truth and was ready to confront the villain. He knew he had to be brave and stand up for what was right. He gathered his courage and walked into the villain's lair, determined to make his voice heard. He boldly declared the truth, and the villain was forced to admit his wrongdoing. The kid was triumphant in his confrontation, and the villain was forced to face the consequences of his actions. After the confrontation with the villain, the mystery of the missing jewels was finally revealed. It turned out that the villain had been stealing them from the wealthy family for months, hiding them in his secret hideout. He had been using a complicated system of tunnels to transport the jewels from the family's home to his hideout. The kid had put the pieces together and was able to catch the villain in the act. With the mystery solved, the family was able to reclaim their jewels, and the kid was praised for his detective work. The kid's triumph was complete as the mystery was solved. He had faced his fears and confronted the truth. And now he could finally rest easy knowing the truth was out in the open. He had saved the day and was proud of his accomplishment. The kid's triumph culminates in a total of words, bringing the story to a satisfying conclusion. All the pieces of the puzzle have been put together and the mystery is solved. The kid can now look forward to a future of success and happiness. stranger had an odd request. He wanted the kid to accompany him on a journey. He claimed that the kid was the only one who could help him in his mission, and he was willing to pay the kid handsomely for his services. He explained that the journey would be dangerous, but that he had faith in the kid's abilities. He also promised that the kid would gain invaluable experience and knowledge that he could use for the rest of his life. The kid was taken aback by the stranger's request, but he was intrigued by the offer. The kid was taken aback by the stranger's request. He knew it was a big decision, but he also knew that this was his only chance to make something of himself. After a few moments of contemplation, the kid finally made his decision. He nodded in agreement and declared that he was ready to follow the stranger on his journey. The kid watched in awe as the stranger slowly began to walk away. He felt a strange sensation of loss, as if he was missing something important. He wanted to call out to the stranger and ask for his name, but he kept his silence. The stranger continued walking until he was out of sight. The kid was left alone, pondering the strange encounter and the words of the mysterious stranger. He couldn't shake the feeling that he had just missed out on something important, and the kid knew he would never forget this moment. In conclusion, the total word count of this chapter is words. The chapter follows the story of a stranger and the kid, and the events that occur between them. It begins with an introduction of the stranger, and continues to describe the stranger's request, the kid's response, and the stranger's eventual departure. The story is a compelling one that captures the reader's attention and keeps them engaged throughout the entire chapter. The kid had been investigating the mysterious disappearance of their father for months, and they had finally reached a dead end. With no leads and no clues, the kid felt defeated. Despite this, they remained determined to uncover the truth. With a newfound sense of determination, the kid began to investigate further, scouring their father's old haunts and asking questions of anyone who might have known him. With each step, the kid felt closer to the truth, and they were determined to uncover it. Following the clues he had uncovered, the kid began to gather evidence to support his suspicions. He searched around the crime scene, looking for any objects that could provide further insight into the case. He also spoke with witnesses, asking them questions and taking detailed notes of their answers. He also looked for any inconsistencies in their stories, which could help him uncover the truth. Finally, he visited the local police station, where he was able to review evidence and reports that could help him piece together the puzzle. The kid continued their investigation, uncovering a number of clues. They discovered that the perpetrator had left behind a strange symbol at the crime scene, and that the victim had been seen arguing with someone shortly before their death. They also uncovered evidence that the victim had been receiving strange packages in the weeks leading up to the murder. All of this evidence pointed to a single suspect, and the kid was determined to get to the bottom of the case. The kid began to piece together the evidence they had gathered, and suspicions began to form in their mind. They noticed patterns in the clues they had uncovered, and began to suspect that the crime was much more complex than they had initially thought. As they considered the possibilities, they began to realize that the perpetrator likely had a personal connection to the victim, and that the motive was likely more than just a simple robbery. The kid was determined to uncover the truth and find out who was responsible for the crime.
If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from us. We'll be bringing you more exciting stories and videos like this one. See you next time.